Good morning, good afternoon, and good fucking evening to you. We find ourselves at war. We find ourselves with our border currently being attacked. The people that we have hired and or elected, you can call them elected, I call it hired. The people that we hired to speak for us and defend us on the Democratic side of our government has relieved themselves of their duties, and they themselves have joined in the cabal, which they are, but they have joined the asserted effort of some 5,000 war criminals headed to our borders. Why do I call them war criminals? I call them war criminals because they know exactly what they're doing. They know that they're not wanted here. They're using women and kids as shields to walk in front of the caravan so they can use them as shields. So in the news media that's there for CNN and everyone else, we're talking about they spent close to $40 million in order to get these individuals here to this country. $40 million. Dropping the bucket to someone like George Soros, that's who's funding it. He's funding it. That's who's funding it. So dropping the bucket to George Soros. Someone who's giving Black Lives Matter $100 million. Someone who's giving $300 million to the LGBTQ community. But you know what? Before we get into all of that, I got to get into this. Please do remember that the New Right Party channel and the New Red Party show is sponsored by patriots like you. And as long as you're sending these donations, it allows me to create the content that will continue to make these motherfuckers sick. As you were.
Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team, no sleep. Flossy high and yeah, we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul, Illuminati wanna take it. Versus the family and my family entertainment and his team, no sleep. Flossy high and yeah, we made it. The haters keep on hating on the songs that we be making, and I heard they want my soul, Illuminati wanna take it.
CEO, bullshit, paying for the pussy, I endorse it, riding through the city, that's my off.
Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you for everybody being here. It's appreciated. We got some news we got to critique. I want to shout out to everybody in the building. Rizal, Dina Marie, Ash Dropping Jolly, Subconscious, Sharon. Hello, Miss Sharon. What's up, sis? Feel free to give a call in today if you want to. Lady Loca, shout out to you. Raphael Rogers, shout out to you. Walter Davis, shout out to you. Activist Granny, shout out to you. Subconscious, shout out to you. I think I said Roy N. If I didn't, shout out to you, Roy N. Quinty, I hope I say that right. Quinty. Shout out to you. Guy-Free. Quinty Guy-Free, shout out to you. Jersey Dolphins, shout out to you. Good looking, Jersey Dolphins. My head is always on the swivel, though, family. Good looking, though. I appreciate you. This is the daytime. That early morning show. Uber guy in the building, my brother from another mother. Shout out to you. Truth Serum, shout out to you in the building. Shout out to everybody in the check-in. So currently we at war. We got a bunch of people who know they're not supposed to be coming here. They weren't invited to come here, and they're currently coming here to try to force themselves inside the country. That's literally the equivalent of someone coming to your door, banging on it, and calling all of the people they can to put force on your door to barge into your home so they can come in to stay there and do what they want in your house. There's no difference. There's literally no difference between the two. No one can describe to me any difference whatsoever. 7 million more jobs added to the economy with over currently 22 million illegal aliens here. $7 million jobs gone from American workers like that. 7 million jobs like that. If you let in this 5,000, what it shows is that as a country we're weak. We came in to defend ourselves. We literally can't. Because if a nation wanted to attack us, infiltrate us, and destroy us, all they would need to do is put its women and children ahead of its army and march them forward, while they march behind the women on their way to our borders to destroy our country. Personally, anybody willing to put their kid in harm's way, knowing that they could be tear gas, rubber bullets, or anything of the sort, they're doing so at their own risk. How can you claim to be a parent that care about your children when you put your children through all of this bullshit? Then you got fuckboys like Geraldo Rivera on TV saying these people are desperate, they're looking for a better life, and there are people fucking here desperate looking for a fucking better life. How about we focus on the fucking people that belong here and stop fucking worrying about everyone fucking else? 1 million people, that's who we let in every fucking year. 1 million people who do not belong here. You know, when I was coming up, whenever you seen a kid from another country, you automatically fucking knew that kid was smart. It was smart. I grew up in the 90s. Foreign exchange students, kids coming over here legally. Legally. They had to be smart. Their parents pushed them. Their parents came here to achieve the American dream, but first they realized they had to be American. They couldn't force that shit on Americans. They couldn't say, I'm fucking coming here and now you're going to have to pay for me and make me an American. They didn't tell a bunch of fucking Jamaicans they can come here for free. They're not telling a bunch of fucking Haitians they can come here for free. They're not. They're replacing you and even the fucking Latino that has been here with illegals that do not know shit about your fucking government. They don't know how the fuck it works. They really don't know how the fuck they can contribute to it because the only thing they're fucking coming here for is fucking handouts. While every citizen that's come here legally, Latino, Asian, it doesn't fucking matter, all feel disgusted. Every last one of them hates the Democratic establishment because they had to bust their ass to get here, to follow the law to get here. They're providing as Americans here, and then they're watching as if all the fucking hard work that they put in and everything they participated in to change their lives for the better is being thrown out the fucking window by a bunch of fucking evil-ass Democrats. I want to also explain to you, look how Mexico is defending their borders. Did you see that fucking bridge? We will later on today. Did you see the bridge, though? How it's packed full of people? How none of these individuals in this group has an American flag with them? They're all with their Honduras flags or wherever the fuck they're coming from. Whenever a standing marching army, because this is what this is marching towards another country with opposite flags of the other country, and whenever this sort of group of individuals are marching towards a country and they are uninvited, and they have the intentions of breaking the sovereignty of that nation, that is an act of fucking war. It's an act of war. It's an act of war. Hitler used kids in Nazi Germany. African militia used children in South Africa as straight killing machines. Am I supposed to look at these bitches' faces and these kids' faces and feel as if they don't have the fucking ability to do the same shit? Am I supposed to look at these bitches' faces and then look at these fucking living sperms and then say, I'm supposed to pay for these motherfuckers because she decided to not swallow this night but let this motherfucker come in her pussy? They have a saying. You teach a man to fish, and he'll be able to fish and feed himself. We are not teaching these countries how to fish. We are teaching them how to beg. Honduras and every other country sending these fucking migrants need to lose their funding right now. The funding needs to be removed. It needs to be taken away right now until those citizens are turned around and returned back to where the fuck they came from. There is U.S. consulates all in Mexico, all in Honduras, all in Ecuador, and they can go to the fucking consulates and claim asylum. The Mexican government has set up tents for them and tried to accommodate these people. These people have broke past their barrier, and they're marching over here. We have people, oh, but the kids, but the kids, but the kids, but the kids. I didn't ask them to bring them kids here. I did not ask them to bring them kids here. That is a choice that they decided to do all on their own. Get from over there. All on their own accord. No one invited these kids here, and now they're turning their backs on them. Their father did that shit to them first and foremost. Their father invited them here and then turned their backs on them. That's why their mothers, with they fucking dirty asses, decided to put these kids through all this fucked up shit to bring them here when they could have went to a fucking consulate and did this shit the legal fucking way. The reason why most Americans are in the uproar over this shit and these kids and all these little fucking putas bringing these little motherfuckers over here is the fact that the government isn't telling you that the government isn't informing you that these individuals have the opportunity to go to the U.S. consulate. They don't tell you how many consulates they can go to before they even reach here. So they're not telling you that these people can go to seek asylum. They don't want to go through the process. They don't want to be found out as frauds. They want to fucking come here, eat, sleep, and be paid for it. Fuck and be paid for it. Fuck out of here. I'm not with that. I'm not with it. I'm tired of having to learn how to fucking speak different languages in order to live in this fucking country. We got Spanish. Cool, I'm Puerto Rican. But now you have to learn different Spanish because all of these other Spanish countries speak different Spanish. You're going in stores and you're asking for shit, and the people who work in there who's supposed to help you don't even fucking speak English. People losing their jobs because they only speak English. Democrats lost. Turning Point USA, I will deliver the most damning speech in the history of mankind in regards to these filthy pieces of shit. And what I say will be irrefutable. Nothing in my words can be taken out of context. It will be painful and earnest. We gotta get in here, we gotta critique some of this news. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You can see that this is a mob, and that word is chosen for a reason. It's not a talking point, it's a fact. In it to win it. It's the second largest jackpot in U.S. history, $1 billion. Now folks across the nation are taking a chance on their luck.
We weren't born. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks, guys.
So great to see you. We've been seeing you on the 5 and so many other programs here in Fox, doing a wonderful job. It's great to welcome you to the couch.
Really appreciate that. I'm so excited to be here. It's going to be a great show. We have so much in store for you guys.
As I'm done with the White House, once I've gained a little bit more traction and we got a little bit more attention, I will take care of the Proud Boys situation. When I mean take care of it, I mean solve the problem of the media lying about the Proud Boys. Nothing happens overnight. I've already spoke to one of my X Factor teammates on Instagram, Honey Badger Nation. I spoke to Mega Party X. The other MAGA party that you see is not us. That was MAGA Party X original name. Someone went and stole the name. I think that what happened was that Instagram took the name from MAGA Party, deleted their account, and then Instagram reestablished MAGA Party as their own page, and they're using that page to spy on conservatives. MAGA Party X is my partner, and that's who's part of the X Factor. All right, we got that up. Let's get into this. Critique some fucking news, man.
News as fun as sports, or is sports more fun than news?
It probably depends on what topic within, but generally speaking,
There's a lot of sports stuff which makes her cooler to me
Well,
than anything
news
else.
is going to be fun today.
Welcome.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna have
we've
a
got a little bit of news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we get to it?
yeah, let's
Okay.
do it.
All right, she approves. Straight to a Fox News alert. Chaos breaking out of
I want to correct him on something. Anytime someone informs you of something, that's the news. Just so you know. The news doesn't mean broadcast television or newspapers. The news means being informed by something new. News.
Mexico-Guatemala border as migrants clash with police. The mass
To talk about trans people, intersex people that used to be referred to as hermaphrodites, which is a phrase that we don't.
We officially going on CRTV, baby. On the 25th, baby. That's official, baby. They won't be just showing the show here and there and everywhere else. This show gonna be on there, baby. We gonna be on there, baby. Yeah, baby. Can you dig it, baby? I said, can you dig it, baby? You see what I'm trying to do with it, baby? I'm talking too fast, baby. You just listening too slow, baby. Can you dig it, baby? Yeah.
Anymore, we find it to be very triggering and offensive because of the way that it's been used historically.
Okay, but it
kind
was
of like the N-word,
medically
right?
used,
Kind
right?
of like the N-word, right? Like there's a certain
Well, not kind of like the N-word.
context.
Wasn't hermaphrodite a medical term?
No, now the medical term is intersex because the medical community understands that certain phrases then are used to marginalize other human beings and to
Certain phrases that you say establish that they are mentally ill, and they are extremely sensitive about their mental illness. Seriously, I don't give a fuck who don't like me. I got a nephew that's flamboyantly gay. This nigga will put a dress on, and he will rock the shit out of that shit, and he has no problem doing it. But he doesn't put a dress on. He doesn't put makeup on his face. He isn't going through an identity crisis of who he is. He's a gay black man. He's gay. He's a gay black man. He doesn't want to be a woman, though. He doesn't want to chop off his dick to have them reinserted inside his body to pretend to be a woman. He doesn't want to pretend. See, there's a big difference between people who know what they want. If you gay, you like to fuck dudes, that's your business. That's not my business at all. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend with people who want to pretend. That's what the fuck this is. There is no such thing as a transsexual to me. I don't care who unfollows me. I don't give a fuck how many subscribers I lose. It's just cross-dressing. You are a cross-dresser. You are pretending to be something that you are not. To be gay is not pretending to be anything. You like the same sex. But to be transgender is pretending. You're pretending to be something you're not. You're not transitioning into any fucking genders. You can't. Females, you cannot grow a dick. That shit is plastic. A bitch will tell you it feels good until she feels some real warm shit up inside her and she changes her fucking mind. When you sit there and you put on a dress and you do all the shit you're doing, that's your business too. Feel free to do that shit. But don't think that you can force me to call you a fucking woman or a transgender when you're a fucking cross-dresser. I'm gonna call you what the fuck I want to call you. You're cross-dressing. You're changing the clothes that we wear help us with establishing our genders. This is how we get to court one another. Because the clothes that we wear are supposed to flatter you, your gender, to make you more appealing. I, for one, don't find men wearing dresses attractive. Shit is not appealing. But it's your business. That's your business. See, I can't tell you don't put the dress on. But I can damn sure tell you don't think I'm gonna fucking call you a woman. Because you put a fucking dress on. Because if I fucking took some money and I went and spent $30,000 on a fucking Batmobile and duplicated the Batmobile and I fucking bleached the shit out of my fucking skin every fucking day till I fucking white as fuck. Took this house, dug in the fucking ground, put a big ass bat cave in that shit and started calling myself fucking Batman. It does not fucking make me Batman. It makes me a fucking lunatic. That I will go through all that fucking trouble to build a bat cave, to buy a fucking Batmobile, knowing in my fucking heart I'm not Batman. Batman built the bat cave. Batman built the Batmobile. He made his costume. You motherfuckers can't build yourself to be females. And when you do, you're doing it knowing you will never be a female. Just like I know I can never exist in a fucking comic book. What part of mental retardation are we not understanding? See, it's not mentally retarded when you accept the fact you like to dress as a female. You like their clothes, that's your business. It's mentally retarded when you expect someone like me, who's completely sane, who understands what the fuck a gender is, for you to expect me to call you a female. And then demand it as a form of respect. No. 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 No.
Was it a medical term?
And so people stopped using that.
Was it a medical term?
So medically, there also used to be something called phrenology.
You know what's so sad, Sharon? This is the point I was trying to break to people. This is the reason why this is how Democrats remove men, true men, from the whole thought of fighting in their party. The majority of pundits you see for Democrats are black gay men, are white gay men. Why do I keep bringing this up? Well, in general terms, they will always side with a female. Why? They want to be a female. They really want to be a female. Any chance they get to confront a masculine male, they're going to do so. It makes them happy to do so. They're not masculine males. So for a gay man, it's good. It's great. It's satisfying for them to bring a masculine male down off of his masculine chair to bring him to a feminized situation and post so they can then say, look at him. We got him too. A lot of gay people in my chat might not like what I'm about to say, but there are a lot of gay people that are gay that look to find people that haven't had this experience and they're young. And then they look to groom these individuals to turn these individuals out so they can make more gay people. My little sister was 16 when she had her first 15 when she had her first gay experience with a gay girl. The girl consequently killed herself, committed suicide because my sister broke up with her. This is what I mean by mental illness. This female dressed like a man, wanted to be called like a man, wanted to act like a man, but this female knew it was a female. It was just an ugly, fat bitch. I know she's dead. It's fucked up for me to say it, but she was here. I would still say it. I'm not going to hold how I feel. And then she used to act like a man. But deep inside, she knew she wasn't. She would always have that insecurity. Because she would never be a man. That's an insecurity you can't take from a lesbian who wants to be a man. Somebody who wants to be something they will never, ever be. Never, ever become a man. My sister was pregnant, I told you at the time my nephew was born. So my sister apparently had some dick in her life. You know that this girl was so caught up in my little sister. She always blamed her for shit. At one point in time, I remember having to threaten this girl myself, telling her I would have to fuck her up. Because they was physically getting into altercations. And at first, I didn't mind as I was like, oh, it's two females fighting. Who gives a fuck? But after a while, I had to step in and say, no, this bitch thinks she's a man. I'm not going to be beating up on my little sister. Then when my sister found out it wasn't for her, it wasn't her cup of tea, this girl was stalking her. This girl tried a lot. My sister probably did a lot of fucked up shit that she didn't have to do. You know what I mean? Mind game. And black females do shit like that. So I don't relieve her of that shit. But at the end of the day, my sister went back to loving men. She's with a man right now. Had a baby for him. And she hasn't been dealing with females in terms of having a relationship, as far as I know, since that last relationship that she had with the female that murdered herself. When you see people who are calling themselves transgender, you see someone who has a lot of mental issues. That's an extreme amount of self-hate. An extreme amount of self-hate. And it's a difference between liking guy clothes and liking girl clothes and you dressing them because you want. But for you to think that other people have to call you something that you're not, you're mentally ill. We all don't see you the same way that you see yourself. You're pretending. Imagine if I got on here and I started to just play with toys in front of you. And I just started to, woo, and I really got into the shit. Y'all gonna look at me like, this nigga is fucking crazy. This nigga's like really dead ass into this shit. We supposed to be doing, they really be into that shit. I give props to those who are different. I give props to the gay and the lesbians that have to deal with all of this fuckery and this extra bullshit. Because I remember when you just was gay. That's it. You had pride in being different. But you didn't force people to call you something that you're not.
Which was measuring like the heads of black people and saying that they were like scientifically less than others.
The
so
only
science
reason I
evolves
asked,
all the time. You're asking if it was a medical term.
Yeah.
There also were medical terms like phrenology
well,
that are now shown to be very racist and bigoted and outdated and marginalizing.
The reason I bring it up,
and things that kind and open-minded humans do not use.
Sure. Well,
that is my response to your question.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because you brought up hermaphrodite and compared it to the N-word. Was the N-word ever a medical term?
Thank you. Thank you.
Massive caravan fighting to make it the United States.
And our Border Patrol already arresting a record number of illegal immigrants, meanwhile, that are trying to pour into this country.
Griff Jenkins is live in McAllen, Texas, the most heavily trafficked area along our southern border. Griff?
Emily, Pete, and Ed, good morning. Yeah, all eyes are on what's happening on that Mexico-Guatemala border. You know, yesterday when they had essentially from officials saying a mob reaction of crashing through the gate, rushing that bridge into 500 plus Mexican police officers, the officials here are paying very close attention. Now, when Secretary of State Mike Pompeo...
I know this might sound fucked up, and again, I don't give a fuck. What's the capacity of this bridge? Why hasn't it given yet? Why hasn't the bridge given yet? The bridge should have given already. It's a lot of weight on that bridge, man.
Talking about the tactics being used, women and children as shields, it's because they're worried about that coming to this border here in McAllen, Texas, the heaviest, as you mentioned, trafficked area. And the reason why that caravan and others are charging our borders are because of what they perceive as loopholes in the laws here. Their ultimate destination is right where I'm standing. Yesterday, we spoke with the deputy chief here in this sector, Raul Ortiz, and he talked about the number of family units they're seeing and the overall problem. Here's what he had to say.
We're definitely seeing a lot of family units. We've seen that increase over the last 3 or 4 months, and certainly this month at the highest numbers of family units that we've experienced in a while. On average, about 373 family units every day, and then we see about 75 unaccompanied children every day. And so we've seen, on average, 641 individuals in South Texas cross every single day.
Now, you look at yesterday, we had a very dramatic morning talking to you, Ed, but that was only, the area I was in was only...
The shit that doesn't make any sense to me is that George Soros is paying drug dealers to allow these people to come here. The drug dealers control the ports. They control the routes in which these people are traveling. Literally, the drug cartels can put this shit to an end like this. You know why all of this is happening? Because we're no longer in the drug business with the drug cartels. That I can tell you. I can tell you that right now. We are no longer a part of the George Bush's administration that allowed motherfuckers like El Chapo back and forth in this country to sell drugs and fucking work for us and killing our fucking names. We're not doing that. The Mexican government needs to get a hold of this shit, because what's going to happen is they're not going to be able to come into the U.S. And since they won't be able to come into the U.S., guess where they'll be stuck? Mexico. These people are coming here with Honduran flags. How the fuck is that working? And then they're marching here with no regards for the citizens that live here. What makes you think they're going to give a fuck about conforming when they get here? They ain't give a fuck about how they illegally came here in the first place.
5 of the 316 miles of the Rio Grande Valley sector. So that's just a tiny snapshot of the nearly 3,000 miles of U.S.-Mexico border from California to where I'm standing here in South Texas. And so when you look at that problem, 4,000 or 5,000 migrants charging that bridge down in the Mexico-Guatemala border, and think about what it would bring to the already overwhelming...
Why wouldn't Guatemala do what Puerto Rico did? Why wouldn't Guatemala break its government up, petition the United States government so they can become a territory of the U.S.? Why wouldn't they do that? Guatemala likes its sovereignty. What about if Americans started to go to Guatemala and started to just take land? What if the United States of America decided to invade Guatemala and remove everyone from their homes and start taking and appropriating land for ourselves? There's a direct way of doing things and there's an indirect way of doing things. Do you think by these people coming to these gates with no visible weapons, do you think that means that they're not dangerous? You're wrong. They're more dangerous than a standing army outside of our gates right now. A standing army outside your gates right now gives you clear intentions of what it is they're trying to do. But amongst the very few individuals that need our help, that we can't even afford to help, so we can't even help them, I don't know why the fuck they're coming. There are a bunch of individuals that do not need our help, that are coming here to take what they can from us. I'm tired. I don't know about you, but I'm not a runner. I'm a stand and fight kind of man. If a bunch of people is banging on my fucking door, I'm going to answer it with this shotgun. How are you prepared to answer your door?
Problem here where they're up 300% in just family units alone since this time last year. You were talking about an issue that, excuse me, has to be addressed and addressed quickly. Nobody is watching.
I had no idea. As somebody who served in the Reagan administration for 8 years and had, I think, the highest clearance when I was chief of staff to the Attorney General, I had no idea when you walk out the door and you're done in government, you get to keep it. I don't remember that. I wasn't read into programs after that. I didn't have to take lie detector tests after that. You go out the door, you're out the door, and that's the end of that. Apparently not. Apparently, if you worked in the Obama administration, you think you have a right to this for the rest of your life. You can call the president a traitor, treasonous, get jobs at CNN and MSNBC, and all is well and good. But all is not well and good. And Rand Paul was right to call out Brennan and Clapper and the rest. If the president is right, I hope he pulls their ticket. We need to review it. There's nothing to review.
Watching the situation down in the Mexico-Guatemala border more closely than the officials here because they're going to have a plan if it comes. We're going to go out again this morning and take you out there and show you just how bad the problem is.
Well, Griff, you're forgiven if you're losing your voice a little bit because I was here on the couch, as you mentioned, yesterday. And live on the air, you were doing some stellar reporting, as always, as we were watching unfold here on Fox and Friends, people being apprehended, illegal immigrants trying to cross the border there in McAllen, Texas. Real quick, do they feel like the Border Patrol agents there on the ground that it's sort of a shot in the arm that Mexico's...
Because there have been many, many caravans. But last year, it became very public because the president came out and said, this is not what we want happening at our border. This is the second iteration thereof. You might think that maybe this time we're prepared to address it. Maybe not. We'll see.
Well, why is it that I have to pay for these people being alive? Why is it that you have to pay for these people being alive? Why is it your responsibility to take care of all of these people? How did you come to find out that you're responsible for all of these people? If the Democrats want open borders and open walls, then I suggest this. Then they need to sponsor these people and let these people live in their homes rent-free. Every Democrat that's saying for open borders and everything else, they all need to sign a paperwork sponsoring these individuals so they can live with them. Let the Democrats take care of them. Whoever is sponsoring these people, you do not receive government aid and assistance. Because that's aid and assistance from us. It's all bullshit. You want open borders, you want to let legals in and everything else. Do you know how many illegal immigrants that are here already, that if you're a Democrat, so you could be helping them become legal and then let them stay with you rent-free forever and ever and ever and ever? This shit right here is an act of war. This shit right here, I take as a standing and marching army, coming to infringe upon my rights and the rights of a free and sovereign nation. None of these motherfuckers, I bet you 90% of the people in this crowd do not know the national anthem of the United States of America. They don't know what year we found our independence. They don't know who the founding fathers are. Yet they expect to come here and gain everything for free. These people are fucking. All of those people that are in front of you came here from fucking. From the act of sucking dick, eating pussy, licking ass, and busting nuts. All those people are here from fucking. All them little motherfuckers on that bridge with them are here from fucking. I didn't fuck none of them bitches. I'm not related to not near none of them. I'm not responsible for not near none of them. It's fucked up when a bunch of grown-ass motherfuckers expect other people to pay for them. As if somehow that's cool. You'll hear people saying they are hard workers. The immigrants that are hard workers are here legally, not illegally. The ones that are here illegally are not hard workers. They're criminals. They're worse than a corner drug dealer. Because you can always go to the corner to find a drug dealer. If he gives you something bad, you can always find the corner drug dealer. But these guys get to move around and leave that corner. They get to go around and they get to rape women. They get to kill Americans. And then the only thing they can say is, I'll be in jail for 5 years on the deportation charge, and then I'll be able to get out. And if they do deport me, I'll just come back in through Canada. This is a 52 fake out, people. They've released the burden of marijuana on Canada, making Canada a more friendly place. They're going to bombard Canada as well. They're going to try to come in through the top, like they always have. This here in front of us is a fucking crazed epidemic of individuals wanting us to pay for them to fuck. They don't care about black or poor, white, Asian, Latino Americans that are here already. They don't care that we barely have shit anyway. That we are barely able to have shit anyway. How many of you motherfuckers are watching, know someone, or are currently waiting for some type of subsidized apartment or Section 8 or some form of help? How many of you watching, know someone, or currently is waiting on some type of help with medical insurance so you can have full care? How many of you are watching, know someone, or currently is battling the banks so you can keep your home? They don't give a fuck about that. These people don't give a fuck about that at all. I don't give a fuck about them. I don't give a fuck about the hair on their head to the lint in their shoe. I don't give a fuck about how hard it was to walk all of those miles to get told fucking no. I didn't tell you to come here. I don't remember POTUS saying on national television, give me your tired, give me your weak, and give me your hungry. We did that shit a long time ago. We filled this motherfucker up to capacity. Every club has a capacity. The fire marshals will come shut that shit down. This is shut down. He needs to shut down our borders. That's it. Period. Every illegal immigrant watching this shit right now should feel fucked up, knowing that these people are coming and trying to make it even worse for them while they are here trying to really become citizens of the United States of America. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to set up my own form of Project Veritas. Then I'm going to have blacks involved with it for me. Infiltrating the Democratic Party. Infiltrating the rallies. And exposing all the shit that's being said. I'm going to have white operatives going in the Democratic Party, going to rallies and other shit to hear what they say. So you can see for yourself.
Critics of the president kept saying
for a bunch of people who need help, who don't have money, it cost them $7,000 a piece to come here. $7,000 a piece in their country. With that amount of money that was just spent, $40 million was spent, right? With $40 million, that person could have took $40 million and helped them rebuild parts of their country, opened up factories and God knows who knows what, and industry could have started there. $44 million is a lot of money, especially in their money. That gets a lot of things done. Someone with $44 million has the ability to raise more money from more people and get more people involved to help build the infrastructure in the country that's impoverished. George Soros knows because he took $10 billion out of Haiti with Hillary Clinton. That's Haitian money that's getting them across that bridge right now. That's Haitian money stolen from Haiti that's allowing Democrats to go from bus place to bus place to bus place to bus place. Republicans keep asking, where did the Democrats get all of this money from? 80% of it came from Haiti. You will never hear me stop crying for Haiti. You will never hear me stop crying for Haiti. Black people suffer under Democrats. Democrats know it. They are killing us off to allow the next group of their niggas to come along so they can do the same thing to them. This is something that they do. They are genocidal. They go after generations and they commit suicide within them. First, it happened with the Indians. They kiki, ha-ha, friendly with them. Then Andrew Jackson went in and removed 5 fucking tribes. And they kept on going. And they kept on going, and they kept on going, and they kept on going. So they started to give them red land and red soil that you cannot grow crops out of. Any farmer will tell you that. You need that soil black. They give them casinos, and that's how they pander the Native Americans. They give them casinos. The land that they have is nowhere near as rich as the land that they once had before, and it's not the land that you can use to enrich yourself. You still have to seek outside sources in order to get food and produce. Democrats knew this. They knew it then. Fast forward, you have slavery. Everyone didn't have slaves. Slavery wasn't the I got Roy, and I'm gonna get to you with that. I appreciate the donation. Slavery wasn't the I got a slave, you got a slave, we all got slaves. Slavery was maybe 30 men really owned slaves. 50 men really owned slaves. 100 men really owned slaves. Wasn't a lot of men. The majority of those men were Democrats. They were Confederate Democrats. Hundreds of slaves owned by one particular family. These individuals sought to keep blacks as slaves. Purely resented them. It is in their DNA to hate your fucking guts because all they know is the destruction of you, the enslavement of you, the impoverishment of you, the oppression of you. DNA is DNA. Good standing Republican men gave their lives up, put their lives on the line because they realized the shit was perverse. That's DNA. That's in here. Your makeup of who the fuck you are. Some things we can't change. And people tell me, oh, people change during time. People do change during time. All Democrats aren't racist, but the majority of them are. The ones in power are. They are. That's why they sell out continuously the black community. If you think Barack Obama gave a fuck about black people, then ask him about Chicago. Ask him. They don't give a fuck. Another tool used. You wouldn't even know that Saudi Arabia paid for his education. Did you know that? Was you aware of that? That Barry's education was paid for by Saudi Arabia? I'll tell you that his grandparents raised him. Where the fuck is all the pictures? Where the fuck are all the pictures? Where's the pictures of Michelle Obama pregnant? Anybody? Did anybody pull it up? Anybody ever seen it? Why is it that this guy I've never heard of, ever, came out the blue and knew everything to say, when to say it, and he came at the right time? I do not believe in coincidences. I do not believe in coincidences. Why is it that out of all the presidents ever, his past is so fucking vague? This nigga just talking about a magic wand. Somebody magic wand this motherfucker on the scene, bippity boppity boo. You hear people say he's not perfect. He had a lot of people against him. No, he had a Democratic House and Senate. He could have been passed prison reform if he wanted to. He executive ordered everything he wanted to. Why didn't he executive order prison reform? See, there's some things about the Islamic religion that you have to respect, because they told you in the Quran, they told you, and even in the Bible, they tell you the Antichrist will be the opposite of Christ. But in the Quran, they tell you, or the Quran, they tell you that you will know by his left eye. All of them are serving this all-seeing eye. This man, purely left-handed, pure fucking evil. Pure fucking evil. Nothing could be more evil than someone watching the destruction of innocent people, knowing the people that are around him and him having the ability to put it to an end, and he doesn't. For all due respect and all and all credit given, he is one man. So he doesn't have the Tony X balls. He doesn't go in and he doesn't see that everyone's criminals, and he doesn't say martial law, bomb. Because if it was me, when I first got in there and I had that meeting, they would have told me, you my boy now, you work for me now, this is what's really going on, and we the Council of Foreign Relations, and we just sat in the third out. It's like, oh, okay. I would have went into the White House. I would have formed a meeting immediately. Immediately. And I would have just went straight to the top. I would have went straight to our military. I wouldn't have talked to Congress. I wouldn't have talked to anybody. Or I would have got as much information as I could. I would have found out who and everyone who's involved. Then I would have got my military involved. I would have put a fucking martial law in this country, effective or fucking immediately, and I would have arrested every last one of their asses and brought up everything I had on them. I would have run around the whole fucking world with the toughest and strongest, baddest motherfuckers walking with fucking guns known as our armed forces, and I would have arrested they fucking asses, all the banksters, everyone you could fucking name that I felt was responsible for trying to make me a puppet. I would have put their ass in fucking handcuffs and no one would be able to stop me. Not a fucking no one. But okay, he doesn't have those guts. So let's say he has Donald Trump balls. And he steps in, but when he steps in, see, Donald Trump is too intricate. He has things that he legitimately built on his own that no one gave him. So you can't just go in and just destroy the whole monetary system and everything else. Everything, is kind of around something that you work with. So you have to do this shit on diplomatic means. You go to people like North Korea and you say, listen, I'm not a globalist. I don't want this piece of shit island. I really don't even want to protect the motherfucker south of you. But I have to because it's tradition. I'm a man of tradition. And I'm going to tell you this much. You free where you are. You start throwing missiles around and shit like that, I'm going to have to come over here and check you. Do you understand? Kim Jong-un said, I understand, Mr. Trump. Looking up at him. With him standing on the stool still. And he still looked at Donald Trump and seen the rays of the sun behind this white man's head. Let me get my Uncle Ruckus on. And he said to him, dear white man, I appreciate you coming over here telling me that you're not a globalist with the rest of those snake reptilian bastards trying to destroy this earth. And I'm going to listen to everything you say, and I'm glad I have someone who's actually not a globalist. You may not be an ally, but you're not a globalist. Then Donald Trump went to the UN and he told the whole entire UN body, fuck out of here. We not globalists. We're not conforming to a new world order. Fuck out of here. Never in the history of anyone taking office that has spoken about the new world order or the new order have you ever heard them tell you that they're not with it. Then he goes and he does things that openly goes against the order. Opens up the pipeline. Corrects national debt. Raise the GDP. Stop Barack Obama's bullshit healthcare plan in its tracks. Renegotiated NAFTA. Now it's the United States, Mexican, Canada agreement. No more NAFTA. It's not called NAFTA. It's done. Putting Americans to work so they can go to the grocery store and use their own money to purchase food. Taking over 9 million people off of welfare. The government needs to crack down on those who are here illegally simply through our welfare system. We're not granting them welfare anymore. We're not granting them health care. In order to be seen in a hospital, I think you need to have a legitimate Social Security number. And there needs to be an updated database where Social Security numbers are going through an algorithm, and these last 6 numbers of the Social Security number will go through an algorithm, and we will know how many times it's been used, where it's been used, and if the person is in fact deceased. We'll make it a crime to have someone had passed away, and the family to the individuals, if there are relatives to the individuals, having in fact done the diligent work to notify the government of this person being deceased. No more stealing identities. No more using your cousin's shit. You fucked. Have your ass sitting there in that emergency room waiting, and then ICE is going to show up and take you and whoever the fuck is with you the fuck up out of there. Let's not make a scene here. Let's go. But so-and-so sick, or my son is sick, or my baby's sick, okay. The doctors are going to see them. We're going to stabilize the situation, and we'll have our doctors at the detention center take care of the kid further, or take care of you further, or whoever else is sick. We need to start billing the nations that these people are coming from for what they're spending while they're here. First time, we don't charge you. We're deporting them back. And if they come back here again, we're going to charge you. Your nation will have to pay us for that person being here. So now when we send that person back, you know to lock their ass up, put them away, and hold them there so they know not to fucking come back here again.
Exaggerating this. Look at the video. He was not exaggerating. No. Look at what's happening, not just at the U.S.-Mexico border, but down on Mexico's southern border.
Exactly. And what strikes me, too, is the fact that for mass migration in the southern border, border security is actually only a small component of it when it gets to our borders. And what's not being covered as much, except for on this network, is the fact that there's diplomacy issues happening. There's conversations and negotiation with the Mexican government. There's a cartel chokehold on these migrants. There's the humanity aspect of an unsecured border, which sheriffs and representatives down on that southern border keep talking about. But the left, and unfortunately a lot of media, isn't covering that part of the conversation. That's just as
absolutely right. Well, because they're not covering, our president is, and Donald Trump was in Mesa, Arizona last night, another border state, talking about the caravan. Here's what he had to say.
Right now, as you know, Mexico is on their southern border, and they're fighting some bad people in that group. You know, you see the people come up and you listen to the fake news back there and you think they're all wonderful people, right? No, you think, I'm serious. You think they're all wonderful people. You got some bad people in those groups. You got some tough people in those groups. And I'll tell you what, this country doesn't want them.
Until you have a wall and definitive policies, you're going to have this confusion. That's what it is, confusion. How do you handle it? And laws that are ambiguous. And so this back and forth continues.
And Emily made a good point a moment ago about the diplomacy that's going on. If these migrants had...
The good thing is, if the Mexican authorities start spraying these motherfuckers down with hoses and a bunch of fucking water, they can't blame that shit on us. What they need to do is, the people in the crowd need to look at the people with the cameras, and they need to start whooping their ass. And not the ones that's there not saying anything to them. The one that's telling them, okay, get off the bus now and start walking. Everyone that's critiquing them and telling them what to do. Once they get there and they realize they can't get here, they need to turn around and they need to walk every last one of their asses. Every single last one of them. Every last one of them. Now they got to go back. They got to go back.
Made it.
You can't go through one country to try to get to the next. That's just fucking crazy, dog. That's real fucking crazy, dog. That's fuck Mexico. That's flat out fuck Mexico. Mexicans aren't going for that, fam.
Across Mexico's southern border, and then had made it to the U.S. border, and we started processing them. What we understand from these diplomatic negotiations you mentioned, there's a new administration coming into Mexico, and they basically have agreed with the Trump administration that if they turn out to not really be refugees, and they're folks who are up to no good, and want to be illegal in this country and are not here as refugees, that they would be sent back.
Chlorella is absolutely one of my favorite. This is matcha green tea. That's not chlorella. Chlorella, this is ashwagandha. Where's the chlorella? If you've ever been in the home
to Mexico, and Mexico would accept them. That is new.
Can you imagine what it's going to cost us still to feed these motherfuckers and send them back? You know, you're going to have people say, oh, Tony X is fucked up. He's racist. No, I'm not. And anyone telling you that, they're going to try to use some black fucking sellout to tell you that. And the same black seller they're going to tell you that's going to tell you that doesn't live in the inner city. When they do, they live in a very different part of it, where normal people can't get to them, where they don't bump into regular people like you and me. Regular people like you and me are seeing all these motherfuckers coming here and saying they crazy, we don't want them. Every American on all sides of the aisle seeing this shit for what it is. Because when you hear numbers, you don't see the people. You know, you can feel it affecting you in so many ways, but you don't see the people. But when you see the people, the people's on that screen, and you realize it's more people than you can physically defend yourself from. It's more people than you thought. It's enough people to start their own little town. It's enough people that outnumber some United States small rural towns. It's a number that can literally remove more than half of the current jobs available. And they're on a march on their way here. No, I'm not racist. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. I don't want that. I don't want it. I'm paying for people to fuck. I don't want to pay for people to fuck. I don't want to pay for porn. Why would I want to pay for individuals to be alive? That's a choice they're supposed to be ready to make themselves and pay for on their own. No matter where they are on this planet. We don't control the whole world. We only are supposed to run our country.
Policy. That is different from before, and it's because of the pressure from President Trump. And so you see him making the caravan and illegal immigration front and center in the midterms, and he's also talking about the economy and some of the violence we've seen on the left. Watch.
The choice for every American could not be more clear than it is right now. Democrats produce mobs, Republicans produce jobs. So this November, when you're voting, vote for the jobs, not for the mobs. Democrats want to throw your borders wide open to deadly drugs and ruthless gangs. We don't want them. Democrats have become the party of crime. It will be the election of Kavanaugh, the caravan, law and order, tax cuts.
You know, jobs, not mobs.
Right, and what struck me about that, actually, the first time I heard that slogan, I thought he said that they reduce jobs and Republicans produce, and that's true too because of the regulation, right? But really what struck me about that is the fact that the GOP really is on message. He's absolutely on message here. And from what we're seeing, the Democrats on the left are scattered.
Committee talking about, well, frankly, it's turned into violence against Republicans. Watch this ad.
If there's some collateral damage for some others who do not share our view, well, so be it.
Some people in life should experience a bare knuckle punch to the face.
Scary moment for Senator Susan Collins and her family as a suspicious letter believed to contain a lethal substance was delivered to her home in Bangor this week.
Scary moments for Republican Adam Laxalt. A man from Virginia is accused of grabbing Laxalt's campaign manager so hard it left bruises on her body. The county's Republican Party headquarters in downtown Laramie is back open for business.
This just after 3 weeks ago when someone apparently set fire to it.
Colorado Republican Senator Cory Gardner's office says someone texted his wife a video of a beheading.
If there's some collateral damage, so be it.
So I would argue that the Democrats have a consistent message as well, which is that they're not really denouncing the violence. And they are saying, look, if you're on our way, you got to get out of the way. And we saw this supercharge during the Kavanaugh debate when Cory Gardner's wife got that awful text message about a beheading. And Tammy Bruce was on.
I wonder what Cory Booker would say if his wife was eating lunch. His husband was eating lunch. What Donna Lemonade would say if Donna and Donna's husband was having lunch. And they were enjoying themselves, and then people ran up to them, shook the table, spilled the drinks on food, and started calling Donna's husband a racist. Donna's husband is a white man. So by Democratic standards, Donna Lemonade's husband is a racist. I wonder how Donna would react, how Donna would feel, what Donna would say. Then, as they got in their car to leave, the people started to strike it and put dents in it and try to shatter the windows. I wonder what Donna would say if he watched the police standing there and they did absolutely nothing while people then struck his husband and called his husband a racist. It would be a war on Antifa. the LBGT ABCD community would be in an uproar, and it would be an issue. How is it any different from Candace Owens sitting there with Charlie having lunch and having a bunch of white people tossing shit at her and at Charlie and calling Charlie a fucking racist? This man is sitting down having fucking breakfast with a black woman. He's the only white person there with someone fucking black. And you call Charlie a racist. Where is the Me Too? Where is Black Lives Matter? Where is the Democratic Party who's supposed to believe in your rights? You know what you always hear me say? I will let you say whatever you want to me in this chat, as long as you are not attacking the people in my chat. You know why I say that? It's because I do not want to take away your right. It's like I don't want you two taking away mine. Have at it, motherfucker. Do you. I don't want to take your rights away, even if I don't like it. There are people within the Republican Party, or some of them call themselves so-called patriots. They call me all type of fucked up shit that isn't true. I don't block motherfuckers. The only way I block you is if you're a complete fucking idiot. If you're batshit crazy, I'm blocking you. I'm not dealing with batshit crazy all day. But if you're a jackass, I'm going to let you see what I'm doing. I want you to see me winning. I want you to understand that nothing negative you do will stop me. Why would I want you to stop seeing it? Say what you have to say. That's cool. I still fight for the fact that you're supposed to be able to say what you want to say. In no way, shape, or form does any Republican infringe upon a Democrat. It's what the fuck I'm trying to get to. No conservative is infringing upon a Democrat. We're not telling you don't go outside and protest. We're telling you don't go outside and fuck up our shit. We're telling you stand on your side, be who you want to be great at that, but don't try to attack us on our side because we believe what we believe. That's intellectualism. That's what I'm going to call it. That's my new form of discrimination. We've passed racism and now we went to intellectualism. That's my new phrase, intellectualism. If you're an intellectual and you plan on thinking for yourself, then there is a fear of it. And the Democrats hate you for it. Doesn't matter what party you claim. If you have a proven ability to use your intellect, there's an attack against you. We have surpassed racism and it has transformed into intellectualism. Now, this discrimination goes far beyond the thought of discriminating against you because of color. We can discriminate you because we can make it appear that the majority disagrees with you because they disagree with you, and we make it appear that way because it's not true. As long as we to make it appear true, it's true. If we can make it appear that way. If we can make it appear as if racism still exists in 2018 and intellectualism doesn't, we'll continue to succeed. Because they can't believe you're using your intellect if they're telling you let a bunch of illegal people come in here and then bombard you with their vote. They can't intend to count you if they're already discounting you and counting individuals that not even supposed to count. Intellectualism is very dangerous. It allows racists to call non-racists racist, and it works. It allows racists to use mindfuck black individuals, so these black individuals are then themselves racist. They are greater agents of destruction because they are used as a tool to stop conservatives who are white from even bringing up the agenda that they're being used, because then that in itself is an insult and it's racist. But it's not. Intellectualism is real. Why do I put an ism on it? Because that's what they do with everything. Sexism, racism, isms. Intellectualism. I made it up here on this show. It's the thought that you can be discriminated against because of what you believe. Because of that, you don't deserve to be a human anymore. Because of that, you do not deserve to be a human anymore. The basic fundamentals of you being a human and being governed by a government that you are supposed to be involved in, first and foremost, is your protection. This counts where you stay and what you eat, how you can maintain your lifestyle. Everything under democratic rule has a tax to it. Whenever you buy clothing, that clothing has a tax. Whenever you buy food, that food has a tax. Currently, if you're living in democratic states, if you're in California, you have to pay for plastic bags. They make you pay for plastic bags. That's the difference between Walmart in Montana and Walmart in California. It hasn't reached Colorado just yet because there's too many conservative standing grounds in Colorado, and they won't yield to the pressure. Will you yield to the pressure? Will you allow these people to make you feel as if somehow you're wrong for wanting to keep what you had that you worked for? Is it stingy to gain something with the intent to have it to share with the ones with whom you have raised and created and want them to be able to have it for themselves? We are in debt because of our parents, and we're supposed to be better off than they are. But we are not. Everyone knows it. I don't try to get on here to scare you, man. I try to get on here just to tell you what's going on, to tell you how we feel. To some degree, I may push the envelope, and I may say some shit that could be really, really offensive. So what? It's my right. I'll let you say nigga. I'll let you call me a bitch. I'll let you say whatever it is you want. Because when you see me, if I can see your face, you're going to have to prove what it is you're saying. You got that bail money, right, Shannon?
Yeah.
That's right. We have a fund for the bail. Let you say whatever you want. I'm going to say whatever I want. I don't want people coming here expecting to get housed, fed, while they lay up, eat, and fuck. I don't want to pay for the consequences of them fucking, which is then the reproduction of them fucking. Two fuckers will make a fucker. I fucking had enough. Fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care. like, nah, I'm fucking with y'all. I'm back. I just wanted to say fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care. Just fucking with you. We got some time left, y'all. We got some time left. Oh, man, I think I'm going to go to 2:30. I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm just fucking with y'all. Good fucking with y'all. I just wanted to say fuck the other side. You know what I'm saying? Let's crack some more of this, man. Let me do a little bit more of this, breaking this down, man. Because I want to let Laura Ingraham. You know, I don't really like this show too much because I don't think that issues are pressed the way they should be pressed. I think that and they rerun the same shit. Well, most morning news do. They regurgitate the same thing over and over. There's not really a lot to break down since it's so early in the morning and news is so limited that early in the morning. Shout out to Laura, Miss Ingram. I don't agree with everything Laura Ingraham says, but I agree with most of it. You see how this works? If you found a Democrat that told you they hate Hillary Clinton, I agree with at least one thing that the Democrat stands for. If you are a Democrat and you hate what Hillary Clinton and the Democrat administration has currently done to your city, no matter what shape, color, or size you are, come to the Republican Party. If you don't want your state senators laughing in your face, stealing all your money, come to the Republican Party. If you don't want your senators inviting illegals in your home, trying to make you pay for them, come to the party. Come to the new death row. We the new death row. They ain't the resistance. We the fucking resistance. Look what the fuck we resisting. They're not the resistance. Democrats are clowns, man. No idea. If you let all these motherfuckers in, who the fuck is going to pay for all these people? Let's say we could have it that way. Could we vote that in? Could we vote in through party and reform that if certain parties push agendas during their time, that we have to leave it on their constituents and their bodies to produce the financial backing for illegal immigrants that you're sponsoring? So when we get the ticket and if we want to sponsor someone illegally, then fine, we'll flip the bill. We're not letting anyone in unless they're geniuses. We're smart. I'll pay for a genius to go to school all fucking day long, knowing what the fuck they're going to do for this country. I'm with that. We should come to a vote. If you want to have illegals in this country and you are a Democrat and you vote for it, then by law, you should be financially responsible for the burden. And no one registered as a Republican should be responsible for it. How can we stop the fraud from people being real Democrats, voting Democrats, going as Republican? Well, in this case now, the system will show that you voted Republican. There will be no fraud. Fuck hiding it. Why hide it in the voting booth? Why hide it now? We're at the point of we shouldn't even hide it. We should go in and just press the button. My name is My name is My name is Tony X Trump. Boom. Right there in front of everybody's face. That shit should light up. And the number should go up right on top of me of a number calculated right there in front of my face of who voted for Donald Trump. Who the fuck cares now at this point? If you're in New York City, you're on average on camera over 60,000 times a day. A day. If you're in New York City, you're on average on camera 60,000 times per day. Who gives a fuck if you know who I vote for? Because if I wore a MAGA hat, 60,000 cameras would have picked up the feed of me wearing a MAGA hat. Lights at cameras at the lights, cameras off buildings. Who gives a fuck? I don't have to hide if I want to go to church and pray to God. And I'm not comparing Trump to God. What I'm trying to say is I don't have to hide to do something righteous. I don't have to hide when I give my spirit service. So I shouldn't have to hide when I give a service to my country. I'm for if you want to vote, you should have voter's ID. The ID should establish that you are a United States citizen and that you have the ability to vote. You have to show your ID when you want to get into a concert. You have to show your ID when you want to go into a bar. When you want to go into a sex store. Right, Shannon? Always get ID. When you want to go buy guns from a pawn shop. When you want to go pawn your shit. I don't have no problem showing my identification when I want to go vote. And I definitely don't have a problem with letting motherfuckers see who the fuck I vote for. And I would love for my number to count right above my fucking head on a big ass screen, tallying up right then and there. So if you want to have illegals in here and you're a Democrat and you're a United States citizen and you want to have them here, you sponsor them, bitch. You be they pappy. White liberals are so fucking crazy. They're the only white people you know that leave the country to go adopt kids when there are kids in this country that need to be adopted. They go to places like Africa and shit like that to try to make it seem like they're just not as racist as they really fucking are. And they're really fucking racist. They're really racist. You could have got that same ethnic group in this country. You didn't even have to go to Africa to get an African orphan. I think we got them here in the United States. Bitch, we got everything. But to somehow get them a pet, they travel foreign so they can say to each other when they're sitting down rich and they say, it's like pets. I'm telling you, this is like the new it for these people. Oh my God, he's so beautiful. Where did you get him from? I got him from Malaysia. Oh, she's so beautiful. Where did you get her from? Look at her here. You have a beret stun. They don't even know how to do these fucking black kids here. These kids be fucked up. They be having fucking aluminum foil and shit in these kids' heads. What's her name? Oh my God, her name is Curtin. Where did you get her from? I got her from Lebanon. Oh, she's beautiful. And she's just touching her face, lifting up her cheekbones. Maybe I'll go to Lebanon and I'll get pajamas, a brother, and we'll name his brother Tank Top. That's what the fuck these liberals do. These poor kids fucking grow up and they're weird as fuck. So many fucking issues and fucking problems. You can say what you want about Michael Jackson, but he had his babies homegrown. He made a white American woman hold those babies for him, whether they're biologically his or not. He didn't leave the country to go pick up kids. He didn't even leave the country to pick up his monkey. When he came out and started to disclose what these liberals was doing, they smoked Michael Jackson. Fuck that. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. It's my facts. They killed Michael Jackson. All that gay shit, he gay and all that shit wasn't working. He was weird. He was fucked up a little bit because of shit he had to go through as a kid. And they punished him for it every chance they fucking got. Kid came out and said it was a fucking lie. And you look at these other fucking Democrat celebrities, they go all across the world to speak and talk about problems. And that bitch Madonna doesn't even live in the United States of America. You know, she's lived in the UK for probably longer than I've been alive. Bitch is old as fuck. Do you ever hear Tina Turner talking about Donald Trump? Nope. Tina Turner doesn't live in the United States of America. You do not hear Tina Turner involving herself with Donald Trump. Tina Turner is a real survivor of physical abuse. Ike whooped her ass every chance Ike got. It's documented. If anyone is for women's rights, it's her. And even being a former citizen of the United States of America, you've never heard her disrespect the president. You never heard Michael Jordan. There's a reason why I still to this day wear Michael Jordans, and not currently now because my nephew passed away. Because after the Kaepernick situation, I wanted to stop wearing Nikes. I was just about to wear shoes and slacks. But then I thought about it. Michael Jordan shouldn't have to pay for Nike. Michael Jordan owns Jumpman, and they only lease the names of Nike because it was on the shoe when the shoes were created. But the shoes belong to Michael Jordan. But the one thing you never heard Michael Jordan do is talk about any president. Never in a disrespectful way. Doesn't matter who asked him what administration to come to the White House, he was there. He was an American. That's what we do. So I don't want to punish Mike. I'm still going to wear Michael Jordan sneakers. Shout out to Michael Jordan. Look at Shaquille O'Neal. Brave enough to stand up and tell you Donald Trump's not a racist. He tells it like it is. No one goes against Shaquille O'Neal. Do you know why? They can't take away how he built himself. The only people going at Donald Trump are people that are beholding to the establishment, to the cabal.
To comment throughout this hour, and
Dennis Rodman too. That's right. He weird as he want to be, but Dennis Rodman is a free thinker, and Dennis Rodman is the first person that was going to North Korea saying that we can make deals happen. You're right about that. Live free or die.
Mesa is just 150 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border, a location where more than 5,000 migrants, of course, have their sights on. And today, the Mexican government, perhaps fearing retribution from President Trump, tried to block the group from crossing into the Mexico-Guatemala frontier. But as you can see here, the crowd broke down the gates and started streaming in. Police using pepper spray were able to finally stop the rest of the caravan, but not after many got through. Now, the Ingram angle spoke exclusively tonight with a Mexican official who told us the following. The migrants are using women, and some pregnant, and children at the front of this line in an effort to intimidate the Mexican police. So obviously they're not going to use force against women and children. And the same official relayed to us that there are currently 1,000 Mexican federales at its border with Guatemala. Reinforcements are being sent in as we speak. And the police are telling the source that many of the people inside the caravan grew violent today, injuring 6 to 7 Mexican police officers who themselves have no weapons except shields, and they do have some batons if things get bad, and tear gas. The official closed his conversation with the Ingram angle saying following, we will not allow our country to be literally invaded from the south. It is critical now to take a stand, because if this model is the immigration model going forward, you will see a caravan of this.
What needs to happen is the Honduran government needs to bring their military to start getting these people. That's what needs to happen. That's what Donald Trump needs to do. Now there needs to be pressure put on from Mexico and the U.S. to the Honduran government to get their military and their police to come round up these fucking people. Simple. They've stopped. They've been stopped. Now they need to be brought back to where the fuck they need to go to. Let their own police deal with it. And since all the women and the children are up front, that's good. Because now we can start grabbing all these motherfuckers from the back of the line and start arresting they fucking asses and putting them in fucking big ass vans and sending them back. Or we take the money that we give you. It stops now. And then we want the money that we've given you in the past. My baby's all like, do you want pizza? And I'm like,
this size coming every week. So Mexico has its own interest in stopping these caravans from flying through Mexico. And now what you see right here is not from the caravan, but take a look at this video Fox News obtained. This is yesterday morning at 3:30 a.m. in Yuma, Arizona. Now you can see 4 different groups of illegals climbing over the border wall, dropping right into the United States. And as President Trump said last night, this could be the election of the caravan. And I wanted to bring in right now former House Speaker Newt Gingrich. Newt, thanks for being here tonight. A big night. Let's start with this caravan issue. The president said this could be the election of Kavanaugh and the caravan. Kavanaugh, we understand, because of fairness and due process, and men feel like they're being targeted unfairly. Why is this caravan issue important both to Mexico and, of course, to the United States?
Well, the caravan brings into vivid attention that the Feinstein open...
This is OG, triple OG right here. Gingrich is speaking.
Borders bill and then Speaker Pelosi's attitude about immigration are such big dangers to the country. The Gallup World Poll did a survey, and in Latin America and the Caribbean, there are 179 million people who would like to come to the U.S. 179
well, our country is 320 million, right?
That's to be over half the population. Right. And what we have to confront is exactly what that Mexican official said. If we're not prepared to stop this caravan, how big will the next one be? How many will there be? And I think this puts Democrats, frankly, in a very difficult box. They don't like to control the border. They don't like to stop immigration. In fact, Stacey Abrams, the Democratic candidate for governor of Georgia, said she regarded the undocumented and the documented as equal. So she's basically saying, if you get here illegally, you're part of her majority coalition. San Francisco's passed a rule that allows people here illegally to vote. So the Democrats are now caught in that as people watch this.
These are devastating images. No, well, look at these images. They're devastating.
You talk about mobs versus jobs. You're seeing exactly the kind of mob behavior that the Democrats have led to.
About 2 blocks from here, there's a homeless shelter. Any given night, there are individuals out.
People who don't give a fuck about your property, the same way they don't give a fuck about these Mexicans' property that they're standing on, that they're ripping down and breaking up because they want something that isn't theirs. It isn't theirs. No one has offered it to them, and it isn't theirs to take. And they're showing you by destroying the property and carrying their flag that they're marching as a fucking military. And this is an invasion. I am about to end the show soon. I do want to open up the phone line to allow some people to give a call in. Y'all want to talk about the border wall? We can talk about the border wall. Let's get to it. I'm sorry, people. I'm over here texting my nephew. I should give him a call. He just sent something. Let me see if he want to talk while he talk to his own. Hey, you busy?
Huh?
I said, you busy?
Nah.
All right, I'm live on my show right now. You mind if I ask you some questions? They can't see you. Only I can see you, but they can hear you. How old are you?
16.
16 years old?
Huh?
I say you 16 years old?
Yeah.
From your understanding of politics, which I'm sure is limited, right? Do you feel as if the Democratic Party is really trying to help Black America?
No.
I didn't hear you, nephew.
No.
No, right?
No.
No. Do you think that if they were, that they definitely would be talking to the president to try to make some type of change happen?
No. Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think he understood the question. If they was trying to help, do you think that they would talk to Donald Trump to try to make some change happen?
Oh, yeah. I ain't really hear your question.
No, okay. If you was a Black Republican right now and you wanted to go for president of the United States of America, would you want to?
Yeah.
But would you be afraid?
Yeah.
Because of what?
Democrats.
Because of Democrats. My nephew's 16 years old. He's not, we don't talk about what I believe in. He's living it. He's a 16-year-old man in Brooklyn, New York, living it. That's who he is. Going to school, busting his ass, doing everything he can, and he himself is already feeling the experience. How many Black stores, grocery stores, like you can go buy milk, juice, bread. How many Black grocery stores have you seen in your lifetime?
Zero.
How many Arab stores have you seen in your lifetime?
Every store I've ever went to.
Every store he's ever went to. Do you live in an Arab community or do you live in a Black community?
I live in a Black community.
Okay. This is not a shot against the Arabs. But what I'm trying to prove is that the Black man, the Black family, the Black woman, the Black child has been disenfranchised. And even my nephew knows it. And I promise you, I do not talk with him on political issues because I want him to develop on his own. The only thing I told him I want him to do is be what? A cop. Because I told him it's important to what? Protect who?
My own people.
His own people. Himself. Americans. Not just Blacks. If he felt something is wrong, I said what? Get up and do something about it, right?
Yes, sir.
Be a change. I once told him that I was a destructive, bad person. And then after that, I went to sleep and I changed my life when I woke up. Some things are meant to happen. Nephew, I got you. I ain't forget about the haircut money. We about to get it to you. Don't worry about it. I got you. All right? You hear me?
All right.
I love you and I ain't forget you. But I wanted you to know that your uncle's going to the White House to make change happen. Change gonna come. Us. Never them.
Never them.
For every American, that's something that we're going to start saying. Us. Never them. Us. Never them. Americans first. Us. Never them. Never will we put another nation's crying and hungry before we put our own. Never will we put another nation's rapists and criminals and murderers against our own. We have our own. Our own. That need to be locked up, that need to be thrown away, or that need some fucking psychological help, or need some capital fucking punishment. We got our own. Everything coming, we already have it. We haven't even dealt with the shit already. My baby nephew, who is 10 years old, if I could get him on the phone, he's still in school right now. If I asked him if he wanted to be president, he's going to say no. And when I ask him why, he's going to say because they're going to hate me like they do Donald Trump. This kid don't know what the fuck a political party is. But most blacks know that the white man will come take everything you have and destroy you. But what white man is it? It's got to be a Democratic white man because he's the only white man that's around you. He's the only one that allows you to do fucked up shit, and then he cultivates these actions. He doesn't address them. He doesn't stop them. He doesn't correct you in the behavior that you're doing. He doesn't say, hey, listen, I know you're used to or thinking maybe this is the way it's done, but it's not the way it's done, brother. You don't do that. That's not right. And maybe we need to have someone talk to you so we can help control some of the things that you're feeling and you may go through. Because I can understand due to your environment, you know, you could have had some traumatic issues that you had to go through, and maybe these behaviors that you're thinking are okay, which are not, but you're thinking that they are, and maybe that's the reason why you're doing some of the things that you're doing. Because that's what a correct handler would do. The Democrats don't do that. They say you want cocaine, they see you like cocaine, they get you cocaine. Let you put that shit all in your fucking nose so they can say something about you. And then when it's time and they're ready to expose you, like Lindsay Lohan, you'll be exposed for cocaine. This is what they do. Whenever they need a distraction, they get one of the low-level Democratic celebrities and they throw them out there and they have the sex scandal, cocaine, drug scandal. You never see that with anyone that comes up for Republicans. John Mayer, the singer, who's made great, dope music, is a racist. He's come out and said racist shit. He is a Democrat. Him with the Me Too movement. Maybe someone fucked him in an ass in an alley after the show, caught him in the back, took that ass from him, took his patriotism when they fucked him in the butthole. Maybe it was Donna Lemonade. Maybe he got turned out by Donna. Oh, Donna. Oh, fuck him right in the ass. And maybe that's what made him turn. Because before that, he was a racist. But as long as you're a Democrat, you can be a racist and not be a racist. Because you have the invention of intellectualism. Well, currently now we get to discriminate on you for pure thought and belief. This eclipses the thought of color. Why discriminate against you on your color when this relatively leaves me to only certain individuals? When I can introduce intellectualism and I can disenfranchise everyone that I intend to. Those who I miseducate and I oppress, which is the inner city, which is the minority, and my opponents, which are the conservatives. Those from the minority group and the other white thinkers that decided to think for themselves. Intellectualism is real. And although I created this term today on this show, and I am the founder of this term, intellectualism is real. And it's attacking every single conservative and free-thinking Democrat in this country. They attack your integrity, and they definitely are attacking your fucking common sense. If you don't think that all of Americans don't want this, they don't want this. No American wants this. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. No American wants this. No. Not while we see their parades illustrious and we watch as all the jobs leave the African American communities. And then the festivals such as Labor Day become too and few, where they distort it, they tear it down, take it down, change it from what it was. Nothing of black culture is celebrated in democratic cities. It's restricted. It's restrained. It's frowned upon. That's why black people are so prideful when they're in these communities and they're doing these and showing these flags to enforce their gripe against the man. The man is the Democrats. That's the man. That's who's fucking you over. That's who's been fucking you over. And that's who's trying to let all these people in so they can fuck all of us over. Remember, fuck the other side, bitch. We don't care. I'm for real now. I love you guys. Us, never them. One.